Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh, we have missed you. It has been a little while since we have done a webinar to pour love into you, to get you ready for the new year and for all of the awesome opportunities that are destined for you. So welcome, everybody. I am truly honored you chose to be here. For those of you who do not know me yet, my name is Giselle Mascareñas, and I am the proud COO of Latina Empire. For over 2 decades, my life's work has been devoted to women, not just encouraging them, but championing them. I've dedicated my career to creating resources, spaces, and experiences where women are supported in becoming who they were always meant to be. I've learned that most women aren't stuck. They're simply still operating from a version of themselves that once kept them safe. So tonight, it's not about fixing yourself. You're perfect. You're whole. You are completely worthy where you find yourself today. It's about recognizing what no longer belongs and having the courage to release it. So let's do a little bit of housekeeping. One, this is a safe, judgment-free space. I want you to be. I want you to be whoever you need to be. I want you to ask the questions that you need to ask. I promise you, we will get you those answers. We will connect those dots. You are about to meet our incredible founder. You are about to meet some of our global coaches who truly embody what it takes to help you go from this moment to finding that purpose and really feeling that transformation within the next 90 minutes. You don't need to show up perfectly. You don't need to have the right words, and you don't need to solve anything tonight. All that's required is your presence to be whole here right now, because awareness is where real healing begins. All right, before we get started, I want to do a connection activity. Let's get you centered. Let's get you ready to receive. I want you to leave all your problems. If you didn't pay the light bill and you just remembered that you're a little late, no pasa nada, as our founder loves to say. Let it go, leave it behind. Right now, focus right here. Give yourself this time right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a little rapid fire. So before we move forward, we're gonna connect because clarity always begins with awareness. I'll ask a few rapid fire questions. Answer in the chat quickly, honestly, and from the gut. One word or a short phrase is absolutely perfect. Okay, are you ready? So, question one. In one word, how are you feeling tonight? Right now, how are you feeling in this moment? Let's light up the chat right now. And while you're doing that, let us know where you're coming from. Where are you from? I know I am sitting behind my desk in my amazing home in Mission, Texas, actually. We're right by the border. So where are you coming in from? Question two, what feels heavier lately? So lately, going into the new year, what's heavier, your emotions, your thoughts, or your responsibilities? Choose one of those words. Question three, are you craving clarity, healing, connection, or direction most right now? I want you to kind of tap in. What are you needing most right now? Maybe you need all of them. Sometimes I need all of them. But what do you need most? Clarity, healing, connection, or direction? Question four. What do you want to focus on in personal growth in 2026? For me, I want to be more connected on what we have been gifted as social media. I really lost connection on there from being busy, but truly to impact is being connected right there. And that's just a really good space. That's kind of what I want to focus on in personal growth. What about you? What is one thing you want to focus on? Question five, why are you here tonight? What do you hope to walk away gaining? When you tap in, when you're intentional, when you're asking yourself these questions, you listen differently, you receive differently. And that's what we want. We want to really speak into your heart, into your soul, because we truly are here for you. Okay, so it's time for you to meet our amazing founder. The woman you're about to hear from does not teach healing from theory. She teaches it from lived experience, from walking women through the release of survival identities to guiding them into clarity, into purpose, into embodied power. Her work is not about fixing who you are. It's about remembering who you've always been. She has founded and led over 24 businesses. She is globally recognized as a speaker and healer. She's a Napoleon Hill certified coach and the creator of the Heart, Mind, Money methodology, a framework that has helped thousands of women transform pain into purpose and healing into legacy. But above all, she is a woman who gives you permission to heal, to rise, and to prosper without abandoning yourself. Please welcome the founder of Latina Empire, Perla Tamés Casas Novas.
Hello, everybody, ¿cómo están? A ver, ocupo que me manden un mensajito por ahí que ya me pueden ver, que ya estamos conectadas, que estamos en vivo. I am so excited. So, if you know me and if you don't, my name is Perla Tamés Casas Novas. I am the founder of Latina Empire, and I am so honored to be here. And I do Spanglish. So, I am a first generation born and educated American, and I love Spanglish, right? So, all of us here in this space have some kind of connection to our Latinidad, whether you are first or second generation or third generation American, but your parents are from somewhere in Latin America. This is a space for you. Latina Empire was created to be a space of no judgment, a space of freedom, a space of healing, a space of conquering beyond your wildest dreams. Because you have the birthright to a total and complete abundance. Yes, I want you to sit with that. What is the abundance that you dream for? What is it that you've been trying to reach for your whole life? I'm going to tell you that abundance on this planet Earth, if the Lord put that idea in you, it is yours. Do you know what your challenge is? Your challenge is to go across the seas, to be able to deal with your challenges, to see them as perfect gifts that will then turn to the best resources to make you super powerful and then reach the abundance that you've been thinking and that you've been dreaming of. So I want you to just this afternoon flow, surrender, think about what are you here in this afternoon to learn? What have you been asking for? Because girlfriend, let me tell you, we are not, you and I and the coaches that you're going to meet that are incredible are not here because it just happened. I am a true believer that everything happens for a reason. And you are meant to be in this virtual event of Latina Empire that we call our virtual Manahood. Latina Empire is a space that was created for women to unite in 3 pillars to be able to heal their heart, transform their mind, and fill your pockets. Because from my story of failure, success, failure, and back up to success, I can tell you that there is no better thing on this world that live connected to your true being and your true self. But unfortunately, the versions, the stories from your past get dragged along to your reality and they hold you back. That's why this event today is called Healing the Old Versions. And I am here to talk about education, but from my testimony that is to connect to your life. The coaches that are going to be speaking to you, that we're going to be in a panel, are going to talk to you about how they've transformed their life. And we're going to be asking them questions. So let me hear it in the chat. Let me hear it in the chat. Where are you visiting from? What language do you like to speak the most? And let's get started. So give me 2 little seconds. And thank you, G. Okay. So put it in the chat. Where are you from? What language do you want to speak the most? And the third and most important question, I want to know what version, what trauma of the past are you here to surrender? Are you here to just cut the cords? Because those ties do not belong to you. And if you don't cut those ties today, if you don't take a decision to say, that old story of my ex-husband and what he did to me, I keep on dragging it to my future, I've got to let it go. And I've got to forgive. And I've got to surrender that what happened was for my greatest purpose. Then you're not here to do what you need to do. That is the most important thing. So I'm going to jump into our presentation. Gabriel, if we can share the presentation. Or Daniela, we're ready to share our presentation because we're going to dive in and we're ready to rock and roll. So be putting it in the chat. Where are you from? What trauma are we going to release today? Okay? Because we're here to heal the old versions of you. And that is so, but so important to be able to receive the gifts of abundance that are waiting for you. Así que, chicas, todas ustedes que están aquí, porque quieres abundancia, porque quieres conquistar tu vida rica, porque quieres tener la vida de tus sueños, hoy es el momento, pero tienes que soltar. Hay veces que es muy complejo entender que los rencores del pasado realmente afectan tu riqueza de hoy en día. Que si tú no sanas quién fuiste y por qué fuiste y no utilizas eso como tu mejor regalo, no vas a entender cómo llegar a tu mejor versión. So, we're going to be speaking mostly in English according to Giselle. So here we go. Welcome to our virtual Manahood, healing the old versions of you. This is a safe, judgment-free space. You don't need to fix anything tonight. I just want you to notice what resonates with you. You're going to be hearing from Lorena. She's the one right next to me in the picture. She's from Sacramento, and she has an incredible story. She's a business owner. You're going to be hearing from Ruby, who is the third one in the picture. She's from Chicago, and she has survived grief, and that is her testimony that has made her so, but so strong. Caro Chams, she's from Colombia. She's been in the States for some years. She's got an incredible method, and her story of failing a divorce and getting to success and healing those old versions. She's got an incredible book. She will tell you about that. These are all women. All of us here are women that have endured very difficult situations that you are going to resonate with. So let's get started. Next slide, please. So as we go in this workshop, I want you to identify what is it that is holding you back. Now, I'm aware there's probably 10 things that you hate, issues with family members or with friends, ex-husbands, a work boss that betrayed you. There's many betrayals and many wounds. Choose one. Let's work through one. We're not going to get through all 10 tonight. Let's get through one. So healing isn't becoming someone new. It's releasing who you had to be. So many women are still living as the person that survived domestic violence, as the person that had to file bankruptcy, as the woman that was homeless because her ex-husband took everything. The survival versions were necessary, but they are not who lead you today. And they are 100% not going to lead you to victory and not going to lead you to the life of abundance that is waiting for you. So I need you to identify what problem you're going to release today. Make a promise to yourself that within the next hour, you're going to lift this baggage off your chest. So healing is not a rejection of your past. It's honoring that that made you stronger and that it's bringing you gifts to move forward for what's waiting for you. Because let me tell you, whatever you envision, whatever you want, that you feel you want, a big house, a bigger home, you want a new vehicle, you want to travel the world, you want the man of your dreams that treats you like a queen and protects you and provides for you. All those things that you want come from a need and they come from a vision. Those are things and promises that are waiting for you. But if you're still stuck to the past of, I went through this and they did this to me and people always betray me and people are always talking bad about me, you're not going to move forward. We need to understand that in our gut. We need to release, we need to surrender so that the life that you envision becomes a reality. So put it in the chat. What is your goal 2026? Here we are. January has zoomed in front of us. It's January 28th. By the way, it's my anniversary. Round of applause. 4 years married to my king, my man. Love is possible, and it's a beautiful thing for a man to let you do what you're meant to do. I had these visions of this kind of man for many years, but I had to get lost, use that as my jewels to become better, to polish myself, to be ready for that man. And that's what we're here to do today. So put it in the chat. What is it that you want to conquer? Let's put it in the chat. Let's put it in the chat. And let's get going to our next slide. Okay, so versions that once protected you. If you are a people pleaser, you're always saying yes, 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 yes to everything. You're a person that has no alignment and you just go with the flow. I used to be that person for many, many years. I wanted to say yes to everything. And it didn't matter if I was tired, if I didn't have the funds, if I wasn't even that liked in that circle and I knew it, I would still say yes. So, what kind of person are you? Are you the silent one, the one that doesn't want any confrontation, doesn't want any drama, but in return of that, you're silent and you're just always taking it and taking it? Because whatever you're taking that is affecting you, that's burning you down. That's burning your soul down. And you're not meant to stay silent and to just let people run over you. The third one is the overachiever. You always want things to get excessively done to perfection. People that are over, and overachievers and focus so much on perfection and are not flexible like bamboos, regardless of how good their output of work is, they're never going to be 100% satisfied. Or are you the strong one who never asks for help because she's got it all under control? Listen, girlfriend, I've been all four of these women. I've been every single one of these characters in my life because life is like that. Sometimes you are in a certain time of your life and you just take it and take it and take it and you just roll with the punches. And other times you deplete yourself of overgiving. So I want you to ask yourself, who did I become to survive till the day of today? Who have you become to stay alive? Because if you have been an autopilot, I am sure that you're tired and that you're drained, and you still don't have the results that you're looking for. That version may very well be costing you peace, anxiety, depression, weight gain, bad thoughts, suicidal thoughts, bad relationships. All of that, even gossiping, that's a huge one that we don't really pay attention to it, but it's a big one. That if we are trying to create gossip and talk about other people and have other people get into conflict, who knows women like that? Put it in the chat. Let me see it. Who knows women that they're super nice, they're super kind, they seem to have their life under control, but some way, somehow, they're always involved in a chisme. Those people need help. They are tied to the past. Those are wounds. And there's a theory that's called misery loves company. And those women creating chisme and having other women get into conflicts makes them feel better. You see what I mean? So mi teléfono no está prendido el micrófono. So, these are things that we need to learn to identify so that you're aware of what you need to release. There's behaviors that you are putting out there that are an indicator that you've got an old version of you that you need to release. Okay, let's go to our next slide, please. So why letting go feels so scary? Changing. The number one reason why people don't change, it's because they're afraid to move waves in the circles that they're in, and you're going to stay without people. See, us human, specifically women, we were made to be accompanied. We were made to have people around us. Humans, it's in the Bible, we're here for two things: to love one another and to serve one another. And let me tell you, when you're changing, like if you are, this is an example, if you are in a group of friends and we all got a boob job and we got a liposuction and we're super like sexy and we've got this juice, but we're like a little bit chubby. In South Texas, we call it like estamos así como jugositas, sexositas, pero gordibuenas, right? We're like chunky. But then you start getting into running and into Pilates, and you're going to change your appearance from the rest of the group. And now you become vegan. You want to take out your breast and you work out and you do marathons. Do you think that this is for the betterment of your health, but usually you're not going to fit in the old group anymore, where we eat McDonald's super good, but we still look super sexy. You see what I mean? We always form a nucleus that has a bond of some type or another. And when you're going to change, you feel that you're going to stay without people. But I'm here to tell you that as you evolve, the people that are meant to stick with you in the process will evolve with you. And they're going to love and grow for their betterment with you. My girlfriends from Latin Empire, we have been in this testimony together. We were not the people of how we met many years ago. So old identities feel safe, but they're not familiar. Letting go feels like death, and it's super painful and it's super scary. Because what if I change and then I don't have friends? What if I change and my family doesn't love me? We fear who will be without the armor. We don't know. We don't know what that change is going to bring, right? Which version of you feels the hardest to let go of? Put that in the chat. Put that in the chat and answer yourself. Let's go to the next one, please. So you're allowed to change. You don't know anybody, a version of you that you no longer serves you, that you no longer want to be. Healing gives you the permission to evolve without explanation. But where the majority of the humans stay stuck is, I want to heal. I want to elevate my mindset. I want all the money in the world that I want to have the life of my dreams abundantly. Yet, where the majority of the people get stuck is recognizing where they are wrong and where they need to change to evolve through education into the person they're meant to be. You see what I mean? A lot of people want all of that. They see it, but they're not willing to do the work because education, self-development, personal development, changing from within is one of the hardest things for self-love that we do. But when you get to the peak of the mountain, it's all worth it. The road to sanctification is paved with stones of pain. Listen to what I just said. The road to sanctification is filled with stones of pain. If you win $1 million, it's going to be so exciting and so fun for maybe some days or a couple of months. But after that, it's going to settle in that it didn't cost you, from your grit, from your sweat, from your intelligence to earn and have $1 million. So you're not going to believe it and act in accordance. When you make $1 million, it's an example. You can make 10,000, 100,000, 500,000, or 10 million or 100 million. And you work that money and you stay up late nights and you are resilient and you use your tools and you do networking and you conquer your company, and your company writes you a check for 10,000, 100,000, $1 million, you feel that it's worth it. However, you've got to work for it. And unfortunately, suffering gives you the bridge of gratitude to deserve. Listen to what I just said. So if you're in your comfort zone, and we have all been through betrayals, traumas, abandonments, some type of abuse, verbal, mental, or physical, it is the wounds that all humanity suffers from. But I'm here to tell you that it is your greatest gift. Fear no more and cry no more. The road to sanctification is filled with stones of pain. So if I'm here to tell you that to release the old version, I know it hurts and I know it's scary, but you're allowed to change based on the pain and the suffering of your story, using it as the tools to make you a warrior, to fight for your self-love. Then leadership starts with self-honesty, which is the hardest thing that a human can do for themselves. It is just like, I'm an alcoholic or I am a drug addict. It takes that to open up the door for healing, right? That's a very major situation. But you and I, girls, we have to say, I am guilty of these kinds of behaviors that come from my past to be able to open up the door for healing. Are you tracking me? I want to see it in the chat if you're tracking and if it's making sense. And let's go on to the next slide, please. Healing looks different for every woman. And tonight you're going to hear how healing releases, how you're supposed to show up differently, emotionally, energetically, and mentally. And I'm going to intercept with the importance of education. If you're in this webinar tonight, welcome. we're going to open up your mindset. You're going to see things differently because it's all about perspective. But if you don't continue to listen to this type of knowledge, to this type of theories, to these types of exercises, girlfriend, it's going to be hard to change. Because your brain is like the main the main screen of your Instagram, of your Facebook. It's going to give you more of what you tell it. So for that, I want to introduce quickly the Hard Mind Money Club. The Hard Mind Money Club is a club of women that unite every single Monday of the month, every single Monday of the year for 52 weeks. And we go through live classes of the Hard Mind Money methodology, because this methodology is a mad life transforming methodology. Heal your heart, transform your mind to fill your pockets. And once you fill your pockets, you're going to be able to do acts of kindness around every single person around you, which is going to give you a dopamine, a love effect that no money can buy. That's why you're here. But educating yourself is key. So every single Monday, there's class of heart, mind, and money. The second and the fourth Monday of the month, there's class with me at 6 p.m. Central Time in Spanish and 7 p.m. Central Time in English. And the other Mondays that I'm not giving class, it's one of the Latina Empire coaches that is an expert in their method. Okay? So it is extremely important that you understand that the healing that I'm offering you, it must be supported through education. Just the same way if you have an amazing body, you have to take care of it with food and gym. Your brain needs to be elevated through different types of methods and learnings. And your heart has to get healed one piece at a time, one pain and one trauma at a time, right? So tonight, you're going to hear how that healing releases and how you show up differently for yourself. So at the end, I'm going to tell you more about the Hard Mind Money Club, but I have to intercept with that because a lot of women are asking, and how do I do that? Like just one workshop and then perla, you're gone? No. We have a club where we meet every single week. And when you miss live class, it stays recorded on a platform so that you can continue on this journey of healing, because it doesn't happen from one night to the other. So let's go to our next slide, please. So these are the questions I have for you. And this is where we start workshopping, where I want you to think about you. Nobody else exists, only you and I on the screen. And the first question for you is, what is one old version of yourself that you had to release to step into who you are today? So think about this. Today, you're here with us in this virtual Manahood, which, by the way, Manahood comes from mana, hermana, sister, the sisterhood event. In Spanglish, we call it Manahood, and we have monthly Manahood events. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because to be where you are now, I am sure that you have been fired from a job and you had to restart your career. You have been betrayed, and you have been betrayed and you had to reignite yourself again, okay? Or you went through a divorce and you had to restart. I got you, G. And you have to restart, right? So these are the things that we are going to set the stage to start your healing and your transformation, that within the next 30 minutes, me and the ladies of the panel that G is about to introduce are going to give you our testimony. But your job, girlfriend, on the other side of the screen is to put yourself in the shoes, listen, and connect to how it resonates to your story. So, G, take it away.
Yay! Okay, let's do this. I am so excited to introduce the panel to everybody. P, you want to just stay on? Okay, you just stay on. Awesome. All right. So, first panelist is Caro Chams. Caro Chams is a Latina Empire RGV chapter leader, global certified speaker, and a Napoleon Hill certified coach. Her work focuses on mindset, energetic alignment, helping women release identities that block expansion and self-trust. Everyone, welcome Caro Chams. Woo! Let's see, let's get her on. She's coming on. ¿Dónde está? There she is. There's her gorgeous face. Next,
Hi, everyone.
our next leader and panelist is Ruby Greenberg. Ruby Greenberg is a global certified speaker, Latina Empire Chicago chapter partner, and Napoleon Hill certified coach whose work centers on emotional safety and compassionate healing. She supports women in releasing old versions of themselves with deep self-honor. Everyone, help me welcome Ruby Greenberg. Woo, 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 woo. She's coming. She's coming. As Ruby is finding her way onto this stage, I'm going to introduce.
I see Ruby.
You do?
I see
Oh,
Ruby.
you do? Okay, awesome. Lorena Martinez. Lorena Martinez is a Latina Empire Sacramento chapter partner, global certified speaker, and Napoleon Hill certified coach with a trauma-informed approach to healing. Her work helps women understand how past experiences shape identity and how healing creates freedom to build a new future. Yay! And take it away, P.
Okie dokie, girls. So I'm so excited to be sharing the stage with you girls because this is what I was telling you, audience, that these women that you see here, so Carito Champs, you see there, she's in South Texas and she's Colombian. Say hi, Carito. Lorena Martinez, she's in Sacramento. And Ruby Greenberg is in Chicago. So all these three girls are frozen. If you know that the Arctic winter is coming, I'm in Miami, so I am in paradise. It was like 65 degrees today. So I want to share quickly, girls, that audience, that all of these panelists and the women that are sharing the stage with me are women that I met in different stages of life. And we all had one goal. One goal was to heal and just become better. You know, each one of these girls is going to tell you their testimony, but each of these girls wanted to do something greater. And we all jumped on the idea of being a part of Latina Empire and opening community in every single city, right? South Texas, Sacramento, and Chicago. From there, these three women went ahead and studied the Napoleon Hill Institute Certified Coaching Certification. That's when they decided to study deep in to be able to understand where were the gaps to complete their life. And when they healed their heart with the things that we do in Latina Empire, they elevated their mind and they filled their pockets. Now money makes sense. Now $100 feels like 1,000 and 1,000 feels like 10,000. It's no longer the actual money. It's the energy of the frequency that you carry, that your money just goes a long way. And because of that, these incredible women have found that they have a passion to help others with their method that is tied to their story, that becomes the testimony that we're about to speak about. So what I, Giselle, and these women have done with their lives is exactly what every single one of you in the audience has the power to do. When you heal your heart, transform your mind, and fill your pockets. So before we get started, I'm just so proud, girls, to be sharing the stage because we're doing big things. big things around our country and very, very soon globally. So a round of applause for all these girls. Okay, so now we're going to get started with our questions, and we're going to go with the question that I left the audience with is the question for all panelists, okay? Which I already kind of set the bridge for that. So I'm going to start with you, Ruby, because I see you on my screen. So I want to know, what is one old version of yourself that you had to release to step into who you are today? Because, let me just intercept. What I left the audience was, whatever you did to overcome divorce, betrayal, abandonment, those were skills, and you used it to prove yourself that you can be better. Now, this is what you have to replicate for every single trauma and pain that is in your Pandora box. Because from every single lesson that you're going to study from your lifetime since you were a little kid and you have memory 2, 3, 4 years old, every single pain was to gain a lesson and to gain resources. It's like to gain weapons of protection. Okay. So we're going to get started with you, Ruby. From there, we'll take it to Lorena and then Carito Champs. And then let's go forward. Go ahead, Ruby.
Thank you so much, Perlita. An old version of myself that I had to release was the woman who believed that she had to be strong alone. So I did not ask for help. For a long time, I thought that strength with self-reliance, that I couldn't ask for help because then I wouldn't be strong. I would be seen as vulnerable. So I equated not asking for help as being a strong person. And at the age of 28, I had my husband, he passed away. And so I was raising 2 boys by myself. And at the time I had started my own business. And you can imagine, you know, being widowed and having 2 boys to raise on my own, who was 1.5 years old and 3.5 years old. I realized that I had to ask for help. And what really gave me the strength was that asking for help, building my community, asking my parents for help, at work, delegating work. And I no longer felt that I was alone. And I realized quickly that you need a community. You know, if you're a leader and you are starting something new, you are going to need as much help as you possibly can. And that doesn't make you weak. On the contrary, that gives you so much strength because now you're duplicating yourself and you're able to help other people as well. When you are helping yourself and you're putting yourself first and you're giving yourself that self-love and that self-compassion, and, you know, definitely will have more energy to focus on the things that are going to bring you, you know, the most happiness. And at the end of the day, creating community, really, I feel that is one of the most important things that we can do for our own evolution and for us to keep growing. Allowing
Ruby,
ourselves.
sorry, I wanted to interrupt and ask you, how long did it take you to accept that you needed help?
I would say it probably took me around maybe 3 years.
Wow.
And
So 3 years being a widow, raising 2 kids, handling your business without seeking help, trying to keep it under control yourself. And how was your life in those 3 years? Was it super hard?
it was definitely super hard. I was exerting myself and I didn't have to. That's what I quickly realized, that you don't have to do it alone, and you don't have to, you know, exhaust yourself and put yourself last to prove to yourself that you're strong. That's what I was doing. You know, I thought that this is making me strong, but it really
Well,
was breaking me down.
but I also think that innately you were trying to fill in your husband's shoes, and that's
Oh,
not something you needed to do, right? And so put it in the chat, Ruby's specific situation. Thank you so much, Ruby. is she lost her husband and she was dealing with grief, being a single mom, doing it all, and depleting herself. Okay. But this also happens when you get a divorce. This also happens when you get fired from a job and that's all that you depended on. This also happens when you lose your parents or you lose somebody in your life, not necessarily to death, but to other situations. You want to carry it all in yourself until you are depleting yourself and you're just like barely like above water. You know, you go down and then you take a breather and then you're back underwater, right? So thank you so much, Ruby. We're going to go to Lorena. Lorena, what is that one old version of yourself that you had to release to step into who you are today?
But the big, this is such a popular one, but mine was the people pleaser self. And not so much that I had this misconception. My old belief was that if I people pleased, people would love me. And if I people please, deep subconscious, this was at the subconscious, like you say, I deeply was seeking from approval. Why? My mom died when I was 6, and my dad came to the States and, back and forth. So all that happened around when I was little, 6, 7 years old. So I, that trauma caused me to not have validation from my mom or my dad growing up. So what happens? I was doing it from a place of lack, not abundance. I was missing that validation, that love. So I thought the more I do for others and they're happy about this, the more I'm going to receive that love and fill that gap that at the subconscious I had created. Now I realized it wasn't even conscious. It was subconscious, something that in my, it like a need that was caused.
It's a need. And what that was, Lorena, is a fear of being rejected. So if you say yes, you're accepted. And people, we hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are, it hurts to get rejected. It's a normal emotion. But you have to learn to filter that emotion because some people hurt more and some people hurt less, but it still bothers, right? So I was a Lorena too. I went through what Ruby went through when I went through a divorce, right? I was trying to just do it all, mis ovarios, right? And I also went through what Lorena went through. And so how many of you girls already identify so much with these coaches? And that's why we're here to help. And what I tell the Latina Empire certified coaches is be real with your story. Educate me, train me, but be real. Show me your vulnerability. Because for so long, I went consulting so many coaches and healers. They were giving me theory and they were giving me advice, but there was a lack of connection because they were not real and vulnerable with their story. Like, me at the age of 32 years old, I got choked and I had a man on top of me choking me. And that was a really, really hard trauma. But if I would have heard from a coach that could happen if you take a fight to the next level, then I would have been aware. You see what I mean? The Latina Empire coaches are being real. Lorena's telling you, I was a people pleaser. And it came from my wound of losing my mother as a child. That's huge. Ruby's telling you I was a widow and I was raising my kids by myself and I thought I could do it all, right? So thank you so much, Lorena. I'll be back to you. Carito Champs, please tell us how and what was the old version of yourself that you had to release to be who you are today.
A little bit of Perla, a little bit of Lorena, and a little bit of Ruby. I think the most powerful one and the one a lot of people identify with the most is actually the people pleaser. The one that said yes when your body, the entire body said no, you still said yes. But in a way, it's what you just said. It's fear of not being chosen, fear of not being loved, and you're protecting yourself because you have a fear of abandonment, rejection, like all of these wounds that you carry through life. But more importantly, I think I shifted my entire identity after releasing the victim mentality. When I understood that things didn't happen to me, but for me, and that I wasn't the victim, I was actually being offered an opportunity, a
To
lesson,
elevate.
a lesson, a gift, and being accountable of that, and just like becoming responsible shifted everything for me.
Exactly. And I love that because that brings it home when we say to heal is the hardest decision in life, because you have to accept what behaviors you're doing that are causing the results you have. Because we're used to saying, me hicieron, me hicieron, me hicieron. Everybody did that to me. I got robbed. I got kidnapped. I got raped. He cheated on me. She told me off, and I defended myself, and I defend. No, accept responsibility and
Correct.
accountability in how you played a role to get those results. And your behaviors and your results are tied to the stories of your past, because you became that way because it was a learned behavior to protect yourself from an old pain or an old wound. You see where we're going with this, audience? Ladies, this is powerful. And these coaches are here telling you the real deal, the truth. Because where you're at, we've been. And let me tell you, we're not perfect, and we are not absent of falling through the cracks again. But one thing we and I will guarantee you, that with our education, that with our healed hearts, whatever challenge comes to us in this world for the rest of our lifetime, we will get back up tenfold, because our brain is educated and elevated in how to heal a newer wound, and then you fall back. You get right back up faster. And that's what we're here to do. So now we're going to question number 2 with Lorena. How does trauma shape identity, and what happens when a woman tries to build her future without healing her past?
So the best thing I can describe this, Perla, is say we cut ourselves. Say I cut myself with a knife in my hand. If I don't seek immediate attention because we just think it wasn't that bad enough, right? And we're just seeing from the outside, but truly it was a deep wound, and we're not realizing at that moment. When we're little, we sometimes don't have the tools to heal it, or even the conscience to realize what had happened. If I don't go to the hospital and attend to that wound, it could get bigger, it could get infected, right? And we are not even known. We just put a band-aid on it in hopes it gets better. And then what happens? The band-aid comes off, and then somebody comes and like puts something on it, right? And we're blaming that person. You me lastimaste. Can't you see I have this wound in here? And so we keep blaming, right? Instead of us looking at it and taking responsibility, like you said, and say, hey, I have a wound here and it hurts. And every time someone comes by and touches me, it hurts. So I'm going to see what happened, but I'm going to take responsibility of it. Why? I say this because a lot of us go, even when we're aware, even if we have tools, it is scary because our mind is trying to protect us from in order to heal it, we have to feel it, and we have to feel that again, right? Even if it hurts to put something on it for our hand to wound. In this instance, our heart, it goes through the same thing. So what happens is we go through life with this coping mechanisms, like Caro said, like Ruby said, putting coping mechanisms of survival so we don't hurt ourselves again. We protect ourselves, we don't let people in. So then what happens? It becomes worse. And say we're trying to, for me, I said, if I had become aware when I was in college, for example, to heal, would have been a different story. I would have made different choices. But the importance is realizing now. It doesn't matter. And that's why I want to tell these women today. It does not matter if you are aware today. Meet yourself with compassion today, gentleness, and say, hey, you were acting from the awareness that you had. You're aware of it now. Heal it now. Be compassionate to it now, because it's going to get worse. now that when I was healing, I was having children and a husband and business. It was a lot for me to cope with life and heal because I'm still raising children. So the sooner that we're aware of it, even when as right now our kids are little, it's going to be better to heal right now with our kids when they're little than when they're adults and when they're having their own
Definitely.
versions of it. So I think that's the main thing. It's going to get worse and it's going to expand and the hurt is going to get bigger. So the sooner that we're aware, it's better. And then it's think of it, the sooner we get to it, the sooner we get to enjoy life in a healed version. You know, now I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I was thinking waiting all this time. All this
That-
time I could have been confident.
No, and now you're like, okay, bring on more problems. I need
Yeah.
to heal so I can be better.
It's like,
And bring it on. And that's
Yeah.
what happens. When you're frustrated, when you're annoyed, you can't handle the light bulb like going out. You can't handle not having gas and being on the expressway because you're tapped out. When you're healed, you have space for growth. You have space to educate yourself. And when one problem comes, you look at it in the eye y no pasa nada.
Mhm.
You've got time to solve it, right, Lorena? And I love what Lorena's saying because the sooner we adapt these resources and this type of mindset, that's why it's called the hard mind money methodology, the faster you are at getting back up after any wound that comes to your life this way. So it's the guarantee that I'm giving you. And then the best part is that if you're a mother and you have children, you are already arming your children with this methodology and these healing tools. Because girls, you know, majority of you are moms. You know that our children are constantly going through bullying in school. Oh, you can't be in this group. Oh, you've got to get out. Oh, we don't like you. All of these things are affecting our children. All of these things are killing our youth emotionally. And so a healed mom will transform the emotional independence of their children. So thank you, Lorena, for that. Okay, the next question is for Ruby. Why is emotional safety essential when releasing old identities? And how can women create that safety for themselves?
Emotional safety is essential because we can't release an identity when we're still in survival mode.
Correct.
When a woman doesn't feel emotionally safe, we tend to cling on to what's familiar. We don't want to step outside our comfort zone, even if that old identity doesn't fit us anymore. Our nervous system also prioritizes protection over growth.
1000%. That's comfort, right?
Yes. And then our old identities are often formed to keep us safe, to keep us feeling safe. And we can't shame them away. We have to thank them and soften them before they can be released. And creating emotional safety starts internally, not externally. It's choosing self-compassion over self-criticism, not judging ourselves, accepting every mistake that we've made, because every mistake that we've made is helping us learn something new. If we, take it as growth. It's choosing to listen to your body instead of rushing your healing. Take a deep dive within yourself and take the necessary steps that you need to create that safety and that comfort for yourself. It's letting yourself evolve without needing any permission, any reassurance, any external validation or applause from other people. When a woman learns how to trust herself, she moves at her own pace, she honors her truth and changes for our identity become more sustainable. She's no longer abandoning herself to become someone new. She's bringing herself with her. She's accepting. We accept ourselves and we become
With
whole
love.
with love.
Exactly. And when you're going through the healing process, there's going to be a lot of aha moments when you realize that was my responsibility. That was my fault. It wasn't his fault or her fault. And then your emotions get really, really pissed off. And you're pissed off at you. And so what Ruben is saying is you have to have empathy. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't judge yourself. Because if you stop at that process, then you have self-hate as to why did you do that? Why were you so dumb? Why? And you get stuck again, right? So you have to create a space that is emotionally safe, and you do that for yourself. So thank you so much, Ruby. So Carito, going on with question number 4 for you. From a mindset and energetic perspective, which with the Saka therapy, you are one of a kind. What shifts and what role does a woman go through to release her outdated identity?
Everything changes. Everything changes when you shift and change your identity mentally or mindset mentally or energetically. Because what happens, it's like shedding skin. And I don't know if all of you've seen that 2025 was the year of the snake, and we're still shedding like all those beliefs and old versions. Actually, like this is so on spot, this webinar, because literally everyone energetically is feeling that shedding, or answering the chat if you're feeling it, because it's true. And so what happens when you're shedding your old identity, you start developing new, healthier beliefs, new, healthier habits, new, healthier relationships, opportunities. So your entire life changes in a good way, in a positive way, because the healthier your boundaries are, or your relationships are, or your beliefs, habits, the higher your vibration is. So that's energetically. So what happens is you start raising your vibration because you start feeling better, and surrounding yourself with people more like-minded and more aligned.
Yes.
And you start attracting more of the same, more opportunities. So basically, it's like a cycle. You develop all of new, healthier opportunities, relationships. You are more aligned with your higher self, or with the person that you're meant to be, that you're here to be, or your new version. And then you start attracting all of these opportunities, money. You stop chasing and you start attracting. And it's a beautiful thing to observe and to live, because you become the observer and the observant at the same time. And it's beautiful to feel it, to see it in yourself, in others. So yeah.
So I love that, Carito, because Caro has an incredible book that called No es magia, es vibración. It's not energy, it's vibration. And girls, it is so, but so true. Carito writes this book from her perspective of her story. And when I was going through a very difficult situation, and I was literally in bed, depressed of a new battle that came into my life, I said, I started reading this book, and I got out of bed and I said, I understand my reality is one thing, but in my mind, because your brain does not know right from wrong, it
No.
knows what you feed it. Just like your Instagram feed, if it's going to be a bunch of bags because you see bags, if you're going to, see funny jokes, it's going to give you a bunch of funny jokes. Same thing as your TikTok. Your brain is like that. So no matter if it's right or wrong, whatever you feed your mind, it's just going to repeat it in automatic to you. So what I started to do is that in my reality, I was facing some major human emotion problems, right? It had nothing to do with finances and stuff like that. But I was sinking in my depression, and I was just calling
More of
through
the same.
vibration more shame, more depression, more pain, more overthinking, going in circles. So after I finished the book, I said, no more of that.
Saca, saca.
Saca todo. You know, you're happy, turn on the music, laugh. You know, I would say jokes like that I really didn't even really want to hear. And I was saying them just to laugh. And then I would go off another tangent of laughing. And then I would go back to depression, but then I would put music. So then I would get happy, and then I would think again. And then I would go and buy a new purse, and then I get happy again, but then I think again. And then until I got myself through the vibration of my energy out of that depressive state of mind, right? So, like I said, in this community, we arm you with real life testimony, like life channel girls, like the satellite is on 24/7. What we're going through, we're going to share with you because this is life. The only way to connect with you is sharing from a vulnerability standpoint, not from my life is perfect. You need to do this because my life is perfect. My life is not perfect. And your life is not perfect. And nobody's life is perfect. We're here to show you the skills that have gotten us out of difficult situations. Because once we healed our heart, elevated our minds, and filled our pockets, by ripple effect, we just want to help other people heal, fill their pockets, and do impact, because that's the joy that we just love of sharing kindness with one another. So thank you so much, Carito. So let's activate the chat. What is one believer role that you've been realizing after this incredible panel that no longer fits you? What is it? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. So we're gonna go into the what are the next steps. So ladies, a round of applause. If we're having Giselle coming back, thank you so much, Carito Chams. You can find Carito Chams at Caro Chams on all social media. She's a frequency and mindset coach. Look for her. She does private coaching, and she does incredible workshops and all kinds of things. You've got Lorena Martinez, who owns a beauty salon in Sacramento, California. She is a self-confidence coach, and you can find her at Lorena the Color Bar. Find her, look for her, call me, call her, and get help. And then you've got Ruby Greenberg at Ruby Evolved, who's a self-healing coach. Reach out to her. She's got an incredible story. She owns a spa in Chicago. If you go to Chicago and you need a massage, go to Ruby. But all these are women that are serving from love. Thank you so much, ladies, for serving out of your heart in this incredible event. See you on the next one. And we're going to keep on with our agenda. And now I'm going to talk about what are the next steps. How do you heal, right? So in here, I'm going to give you a little bit of my testimony of how I went from, you know, I'm a daughter of immigrants. I was born into a $10 crib. I was born in Mission, in McAllen. We used to live in Mission, in an uncle and a tia's house. And my father went out to the out of the house when I went there for the first day, and he found a garage sale on Los Ebanos Road, if you know the valley, and he found a little crib for $10. After that, I was very entrepreneurial because of my parents' experience, conquered my first business, opened it at the age of 20 from my bedroom in my parents' home. My sister, 14 years old, she was at 14 years old, she was my receptionist on two incredible families in Hidalgo, Texas, gave me the opportunity. Long story short, by the age of 24, I was making over $11 million in revenue, over $1 million take home per year. That's been almost 18 years. I've done 24 startups in 13 plus different industries. I sabotaged and got divorced from a very good man. I fell into a very toxic relationship where I accepted all of my non-negotiables. I accepted verbal, mental, and physical abuse. And I had to go and find myself. And I have done it all and above. There's a book where you can read my spiritual journey, and it's called Si Diosito Quiere, If God Willing, Mija. The author is Eliza, and there's like 10 plus authors in there, and you can see my journey when we're talking in the spiritual realm. So healing is not a one-time moment. Healing, girls, trust me, I've spent millions of dollars finding myself, And now the only thing that I do is wanting to rescue women that want to learn from me, my testimony, and I want to show you how. We've got women in Latina Empire Network that are here to show you how. And all of us together, we participate in the Heart, Mind, Money Club, because heal your heart, transform your mind, and fill your pockets does not happen overnight. It's like your feed on your Instagram. It takes time to change your mentality. That in turn is going to start giving you results. And it's like working out and staying on a diet. You need to be disciplined. Therefore, healing requires continuity, community, and support. You don't heal in isolation. The Heart, Mind, Money Club exists so you don't have to start over every single month. If tonight something happened and something opened up in you, and you want to heal your heart, you want to elevate your mind, you want to talk business strategies, you're ready to scale your business, this is the club for you. This is where we walk in this journey together consistently and safe, with intention and with reality. Here in Latin Empire, we are real as could get. And so I've got an offer for you. I've got an offer for you. It is affordable. It is a one-time investment for the rest of your life. Do we have another slide? For the rest of your life. And this is where you will find us, inside the Latina Empire Club. If you screenshot this, it is a one-time investment for your whole life. And you're in this club forever. And you join class real with women like me, like the girls, Lorena, Carito, Chams, Ruby. There's other coaches that you'll see in the other events. And once a week, 6 p.m. in Spanish, Central Time, 7 p.m. Central Time in English, you're going to hear about heart, mind, money methodology topics. It's a safe space created for women to grow with clarity, structure, and emotional alignment. This is the link. You have guided conversations. You have strategic support. There's a community designed to help you grow. We're here to feel safe. We have a WhatsApp group. There's women from all over the place. The Friends of Latin Empire have become sisters together, because in this space, there's no gossip, no drama, healed women. We've got in-person events in the different cities. We do workshops in person. We do retreats. But this virtual community is where you're going to see me, rain or shine. You will see twice a week, twice a month, the second and the fourth Monday at 6 p.m. Central Time and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Do this investment for yourself. Take a leap. And when you miss live class, you will have pre-recorded sessions that you can see the Tuesday right after the Monday. And you'll be able to see a live class, and you'll be able to hear us like on a podcast, or you see it on a screen, and you will put this into your brain. If you want to change and you want to heal and you want to transform your mindset, you must change from within, and it's not going to happen overnight. It takes repetition, it takes discipline, and it takes methodology. Hard mind money methodology is no joke. We take you through the journey and we transform your lives. And that's why when I started this webinar, I told you those girls I've known on average 5 years, because 2 of them I've known for 7 going on 8, and Lorena, I've known her for 3 going on 4. So on average of 5 years, I'll say. When we started this journey together, we were not who we are today. And if you aspire to be like us, you will be better than us, because we're here to show you everything it takes to be a master at creating the life of your dreams, at being a rich woman of heart, mind, and money. My job is to make more rich women on planet Earth, because women are the gates from the heavens to the earth. One healed woman, one transformed in mentality, once filled and rich in their pockets, they will go and transform their entire lineage, their kids, their husband, the boyfriend, the man coming into their lives, grandma, mom, tias, primas, everybody. We are here to let the past go. Use that as the weapons that you need to be a rich woman in heart, mind, and money. And that brings us to the end of our event. I am so grateful. I am so filled. Listen, I did makeup and hair this morning, like at 8. I went to Univision here in Miami for an interview. I was back to back with meetings. I got here literally 3 minutes into the event starting. I am tired. But when I'm on camera and I know that I'm impacting lives and you all are like going away in the chat and you're changing and that you're going to take this information and you're going to use it as a flag to alert that you need change and that you're not alone and that you found a community, girlfriend, I'm empowered. I feel that I'm doing my job on this planet because from the bottom of my heart, I just want to make more rich women, but women that are rich in heart first, and then in mind, and then in money, because a rich woman of only money is miserable. I've been there, done that. So with that, ladies, I love you so, so much. May you have a blessed night. It's already Wednesday. How are you going to finish the week? Be grateful. All of the battles that you have fought in this life of yours are to make you rich and make you strong, because the life that you envision is a life that you can live in this life if you take on the challenge to heal from within first. Thank you so much and have a blessed evening. You know where to reach us. Perla Tames Casas Novas, all platforms. The concierge at the Latina Empire, Perla at the LatinaEmpire.com, Giselle at the LatinaEmpire.com. You know our girls. We're here to serve you, and we'll see you in the lounge, in the WhatsApp chat, or if you're already in a group, stay there and we'll see you next Monday. Love you, girls. Goodbye. Merezco. Deserve it. I know, protect yourself. I don't want to go. Got it.
Pilla, hay ojos que no se hacen